Hello, I'm Tarah Miller. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Bronfenbrenner ecological model using my life as a prototype. In this model, there will be the people, places, and things in my life that affect my everyday development. The first thing in an ecological model is the microsystem. In the microsystem, we must start with the individual first. Around the individual, me in this case, is the microsystem. The components in the microsystem affect me most directly. First, I will show you some interview takes of the people closest to me. I asked them, how do you influence my life?
Okay, my name's Ryan Miller. I'm Tara's father, and I was asked, how do I influence her life? The only thing I have to base that on is how she was raised, instilling her with morals and ethics, and then as she goes through life to try and influence her the way I think it should be done.
Okay. Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm Tara's sister. I'm her older sister. I like to think that I've influenced her by just being my own person, and that influenced her to be her own person and know that it's okay if you're judged just to be you. When I left Michigan State, I taught her to be independent because she had no one there. She watches me and sees everything that I do wrong, and it causes her to do less things wrong. I also used to be an education major, and I told her about all my classes and how fun they were and how you can really make a difference in being an education major, and now she is.
I'm Drew Hoder. I'm her boyfriend. I feel like I directly influence your life because I talk to you every day, even if I don't see you, and you come to me with any problems that you have, and I try to talk it out with you, and I always try to make you feel good about yourself, especially when you're feeling down or sad, and because I love you.
I'm Talon, Tara's cousin, and I influence her life because when we were younger, we were always together. So I learned a lot from her as I grew up. And then as I was growing up, I also taught her stuff that I learned. And so every day she would take me to school, I would always make her laugh so that if she was in a bad mood, I would make it like 20 times better.
Now, here are the two environments in my microsystem that affect me the most. Pinconning, Michigan, my hometown, can also be in here for the times when I go home for the summer and holidays. Now, if we put everything together, we have the microsystem finished. Next is the mesosystem. The mesosystem is the connections between the components of the microsystem. What is great about this system is that it happens in everyday life. These connections are always happening. May it be myself communicating with my family back home, or my immediate family communicating with my relatives. Of course, we must remember that I am constantly interacting with MSU, and MSU interacts with East Lansing. It's a huge cycle of interactions, but for simplicity's sake, we will just remember that these connections are there. Next is the exosystem. Now, the components of the exosystem I don't come into direct contact with, but they still affect me. Let's think about this. MSU's laws and policies. I can't change any of these guidelines, but I must follow them. The same goes for Michigan laws. Another example is the gas prices. I can't change the gas prices, but when the gas prices are high, I'm a lot less likely going to get a visit from my parents who live hours away. And if they don't come, then the gas prices just influence an interaction I could have had. The outermost system is the macrosystem. These components are a lot less distinct compared to the components of the other systems. Things in the macrosystem are so ingrained in everyday life, they're sometimes difficult to pick out. For example, the norms and culture that surround my everyday life are so normal to me that it's hard to remember that it is there. Celebrating certain holidays are specific to my location and family beliefs and values. The macrosystem also contains the laws of the United States and the resources available to me. One thing that can be in the macro system that still affects me is war. The war may not be happening right in my backyard, but it still can be playing a role in who may come into my life, or the resources that may become available to me, or are taken away from me. Now this is the last system that ties every system together, the chrono system. This system is basically time, and how time changes everything. As I have heard before, the only constant in someone's life is time. This means that as time goes on and you become older, different environments and people are going to come into your life or leave your life. Also, as a child becomes older, they're more likely to choose their environments and friends, and this is time playing a direct role in the child's development. This can also change the macro system. As time goes on, some resources may become depleted or war may end. If either of these things were to happen, then the chrono system would change all of the other systems. This is why the chrono system can affect everything.